Today I'm going to wrap up the week with another quote. And this quote goes, "Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less." This quote comes to you from Marie Curie, who, not 100% sure, I haven't heard that name before, and a quick Google search did not bring up any big breadcrumbs for me, but that quote still hit me in a way of how our life unfolds. And to season it with one more perspective on fear, there's an acronym that goes behind the word fear that most of us have never heard, and that is false evidence appearing real. An acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. When we think of our life, when we think of what's possible, fear is this thing that shows up in a way that prevents us from really seeing more. Why is that? Because your brain is wired to protect you. Going back tens of thousands of years, your brain was wired to stay in the cave because that's what it knew. It's what was safe. And so your brain developed a heightened sensitivity to fear and dangers to your life. If you left the cave, there would be dangers. Now, thank goodness some people did leave the cave and we are here today. But that mechanism in our brain is still there, and we are still fighting in many ways this caveman methodology of how we look at fear. And fear is manifested in things that we don't know. It's leaving the cave is an unknown. But the problem is everything in our life is the cave. Whether there's a lion or a tiger or a bear on the other side, it doesn't matter. It could be anything from public speaking to going for a promotion or daring in the face of doing what your parents disapprove of with your career in life. Whatever that may be, fear can still be the same thing and still show up in the same way. Why does this quote, "Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less." How does that work? How can we apply that in our life on a very simple basis? One, podcasts like this. You are listening to something that's given you a deeper understanding of something that then, when your mind does show you fear, you now have more evidence to say towards that mind and that mindset and that thought of what you are bringing me is not true. What you are bringing me is not true. You can't distinguish what's true, what's real, and whether it's an actual fear or even slowing your mind and thoughts down enough to know whether there's a fear there or not. But your understanding and learning allows you to witness fear, walk through it, and change your life. There is an analogy that I've learned a long time ago, one of my very first Chloisms, that if you are at the wall of fear, that if you literally almost can visually see a wall in your mind, and it represents the fear between you and this thing that you really want to do, it's important to find a door and walk through because your destiny may not be on the other side. But what we don't understand is the more that something scares us, the more that this wall of fear actually pushes us away, it's actually proportional to the amount that we invest in others. It's proportional to the growth that we are going to go through later. Because the more you're scared, the more potential for growth and change is on the other side. It's proportional. Literally, if you're at a level 10 for fear, the opportunity, as long as you're not going to die, is a level 10 for growth on the other side. And that idea is how I often lead myself, and I talk myself through different moments that I do get stuck in. There have been several moments, especially in the past few weeks, where something has been really scary, and I had to realize and slow down and be like, Ben, your advice is always the more something scares you, the more something's amazing on the other side. And I would be like, damn, I'm right. And then have to go do it. That this fear and panic attack was me using this technique on myself in a new category where my mind didn't initially see it. As we go through life, fear is a mechanism that keeps us normal, keeps us grounded. And it keeps us from living the full life that we want, breaking through beliefs, redoing our belief systems. Belief systems are like rubber bands. If you stretch them enough, they lose their elasticity to hold you back, to hold together whatever it's holding together. Stretch those enough. Take daily steps through that fear and how you can get better. Stretch that enough, the rubber band essentially breaks or loses stability, and you just run to the component of changing your life. That is all I have for you today on this Friday. Take these thoughts into the weekend. Also remember, don't forget to just simply be a good dad. Find some simple time, find 10 minutes to do something with your kids this weekend, and just ground yourself in the moment and the beauty of being a dad to those amazing kids that you have in your life for a short period of time. Guys, that is all I have for you today, and we'll be back again to do it all over again on Monday.